He's certainly flooding the zone early in 2026. There's a Greenland issue. There's the peace board. He's appointed people to the peace board that Israel doesn't necessarily agree with. And then you've got the ICE issue. It's really splitting the MAGA base. So I want to just show our viewers and you what Joe Rogan has had to say about ICE.
Especially a woman in the face,
right?
Where it's like, I'm not that guy. I don't know what he thought. And again, this is a guy who had almost been run over, but it just looked horrific to me. I mean, when people say it's justifiable because the car hit him, it seemed like she was kind of turning the car away.
Yeah, he's talking about the woman that was shot in Minnesota trying to obstruct ICE activities, more of an irritant than a threat. There is a lot of back and forth between what happened there. Everyone will have their different opinions. Joe Rogan's one there. But is this hurting Trump at all?
Yes, it is. It's hurting him on his signature issue. This is an issue, immigration, where Donald Trump should be at an 80% approval rating. They're underwater now. I think their approval ratings are in the upper 20s, lower 30s or something like that. Joe Rogan is not wrong. In fact, I've heard many people on both sides of the aisle say something very similar, which is, okay, the shooting might have been legally justified. I get that. Maybe the car hit the guy. It looks like it did hit the guy. But is the penalty for that death? That's really what people, I think, are struggling with right now, saying, look, I'm not for the protesters. I like ICE. I like the immigration, but this is wrong. This woman should not be dead. And the administration is having a real difficult time dealing with that. Keep in mind, the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, came up the night of the shooting and said that this one was a domestic terrorist. That has not gone over very well in this country, Laura. The guy that shot Charlie Kirk was a domestic terrorist. The guy that drove a car into a crowd of people in Charlottesville several years back was a domestic terrorist. This looks like it was a protester trying to get away. Was she impeding an arrest? Yes. Was she probably breaking the law? Probably. But does she deserve to be dead is a question we are struggling with right now. And the Trump administration is coming out on the short end of that discussion.
Yeah, Minnesota, obviously blue territory as well. The midterms will be here in a hot minute. It's in November of this year, but we know that time seems to fly by when it comes to politics and elections in America. Should we see these raids and then, you know, we can see what happens here. The National Guard is sent in. Should we see that through this political context and how this might affect turnout in the midterms?
Oh, sure. Listen, I was in Congress. I ran and run for Congress 4 times. And I got to tell you, I've talked to men and women, Republicans in the House, who are just struggling with this mightily because they're torn now. If Donald Trump comes out and says that this victim, Renee Good is her name, was a domestic terrorist, they either have to agree with that and upset sort of the middle voters, the swing voters, or disagree with that and upset the MAGA base. It's never a good idea for the president of either party and the folks running on his party ticket in the midterm to be on a different page. But Donald Trump is making it very, very difficult for Republicans to sort of reach out to those swing voters that they need in that midterm election. It's not that different in any country. It's just going to be particularly focused this year. And my guess is, Laura, there'll be more chaos before there's less. We haven't even talked about Venezuela or what's getting ready to happen in Cuba, and goodness knows what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, your guess is as good as mine, Mick. Before I let you go, Kevin Rudd over the break has announced that he's going to step down from his role as ambassador in March. Now the government is looking to appoint someone else. What should they be keeping in mind as they select a new candidate, do you think?
Yeah, Donald Trump doesn't care about politics. He didn't like Kevin Rudd because Kevin Rudd was from a left-leaning party. He didn't like Kevin Rudd because he didn't like Kevin Rudd. Donald Trump can get along with people regardless of what their politics is. But he is a relationship person. So you have to find somebody who understands the type of person that Donald Trump is. For example, what would be a bad appointment? Someone who's sort of a military person. What would be a good appointment? Someone who understands real estate, something like that. Someone who shares some cultural things with Donald Trump.
Not a real estate agent. You're not suggesting that, are you?
No. Maybe a real estate developer. I don't know, but someone who speaks his language, someone who plays golf. Someone, look, Yes, he's the president of the United States, but look, we all deal with people that we like differently than people that we don't. And he didn't like Kevin Rudd. So if the Albanese government wants to try and find somebody to send, they need to find somebody who can at least understand and relate to Donald Trump, not someone who comes into Washington, D.C. trying to convince him that he's wrong all of the time.
Yeah, well said. Mick Mulvaney, good to see you.